Hey, what's going on guys? It's Tanner here and welcome back to yet another Ninjago video here on the channel. Today we actually have something very different, as opposed to what I've been uploading lately. But this is something that a lot of you guys were, I guess, expecting from me, and a lot of you were very excited for this video. This is, of course, my updated Ranking the Seasons video, which, if you guys don't know, or if you guys have never seen one of these videos before, basically at the end of every season I'll go ahead and update my list of which seasons of Ninjago, I like the best and which ones I like the worst. It's basically a list, from like worst to best, if that makes any sense. But yeah guys, Season 8 just ended here in the United States maybe a few weeks ago. I really can't remember. I think it was a few weeks ago. But yeah, I figured it's about time to go ahead and update this list because I have no idea when Season 9 is coming out, and it might not be out for a while here in the United States. So instead of keeping you guys waiting, I figured I'd just redo the video again when Season 9 comes out, and that's exactly what we'll do. But today, here we are, my updated Ranking the Seasons video. I do need to point out a few things about this list, though, before we go any further. The first thing being, this is all just my own opinion. What I share in this video with you guys may not be the definitive choice as to which season is the best or which one is the worst, because I really don't have any of that information on me, obviously, because all of that is subjective. And that's exactly what this video will be, just my personal opinion. So I hope that does cover everything here before we start the video, and yeah, I really do hope you enjoy. So here it is, my look at all of the Ninjago seasons ranked worst to best. So starting off in the lowest section of the list here, we actually have Day of the Departed. Again, this isn't a season, but just bear with me. Day of the Departed is not something that I particularly enjoy. In fact, it's something that I really kind of dislike. I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily hate it. Actually, I might say that I actually legit hate it, but it's not good. I did not enjoy the special at all. It's a special, it's 45 minutes, but I felt like they crammed way too much into Day of the Departed as a thing, and they tried to make it Cole's story, which I do appreciate. However, I think Cole deserves an actual season and not just a 45-minute special. Again, they crammed way too much in here for 45 minutes. Just all of the villains coming back, I thought could work in theory, but when I saw it actually play out, I really don't want to see it ever happen again. Sensei Yang, or Master Yang, whatever they're calling him now, was the, I guess, main villain of this special, and while he was there, he's definitely one of Ninjago's worst villains, at least in my opinion. But yeah guys, Day of the Departed was not something that I enjoyed when I first saw it, and it's not something that I enjoyed upon rewatch. Moving right into the next portion, we have Season 1. That's right, the original Ninjago season takes the number 9 spot here. And because Season 1 is down here in the number 9 spot, does that mean I hate the season? No, that does not mean that I hate Season 1. The reason it's down here is that it was basically just a starter for the Ninjago series. Of course, we did have the pilot episodes, but Season 1 was the actual, I guess, first season for Ninjago, if you're actually counting, like a full 13-episode saga. And while it was really good, and I really did enjoy it, and it is, it was one of the driving forces for the Ninjago TV show, I just don't like it as much as everything else on my list. Season 1 was fine as a setup. The Serpentine were okay villains, not my favorite, but they were alright, and I enjoyed seeing the ninja unlock their elemental powers, and of course this season introduced Lloyd as the Green Ninja. But of course, because of everything that I said, Season 1 sits down here in the number 9 spot. Coming in the number 8 spot and next on the list, we actually have Season 2. Now, Ninjago's second season is a very interesting case to me personally, because this season I can see pretty much being split into two different sections. We have the first section, which is basically the filler section that takes place after Season 1, and basically concludes the story of the Serpentine, while the second part of Season 2 basically sets up the Overlord, or at least, finishes off the final battle that was set up in Ninjago's history way back when. Of course, it introduced the Stone Army as well as the Elemental Ninja Robes, which are some of my favorite suits of all time. However, where this season falls flat is definitely the filler episodes. Season 2 definitely suffers from that, and that's exactly why I can't put it anywhere higher. The second part of Season 2, otherwise known as the Final Battle Arc, is for sure one of my favorite things in the entirety of Ninjago. And if that was its own season without the hindrance of the filler episodes of the first half of the season, Season 2 would definitely be higher on the list. But for now, it sits down here in the number 8 spot. Coming in the number 7 spot, we actually have the original 4 pilot episodes, or 2 pilot episodes depending on how you want to look at it. This little mini arc of episodes is the reason why Ninjago is still running today, and the reason why it was able to get a TV show in the first place. So obviously it did something right, and as a little season, I really do like it. I remember watching this way back in 2011 when it first aired, and, this is basically what got me into Ninjago. And for that, I really do have to thank this little mini arc of episodes. However, I can definitely see that it's not one of the greatest things that Ninjago has ever done, but it is nowhere near the worst thing. I love the pilot episodes to this day. I think they're awesome, and whenever I rewatch them I get that little nostalgic sense that always puts a smile on my face. Seeing the original four ninja coming together for the very first time was something very magical back in the day, and who knew it would grow into what it currently is in today's day and age. Coming in the number 6 spot, we actually have Season 7. Season 7 is a really interesting case to me again, because it's not one that I consider to be like one of the best Ninjago seasons ever, but it's still decent and I still do enjoy it. This season was actually one of the first full seasons to not be written by the Hagman brothers, and I believe that it definitely shows. This season was a little weak compared to others in terms of, I guess, character development and writing in general. And again, it was really obvious when, we were watching the actual season. The villains for this season were the Hands of Time, and they were really good, and this season also introduced the idea of the ninja getting along and going on their own without Master Wu by their side, which we would see more in Season 8. Of course, time travel stories really are confusing sometimes, but I feel like Season 7 actually managed to go ahead and make the time travel summary a convincing story. Of course, we did see the time travel in previous seasons, but I feel like Season 7 capitalized on that and actually made it something enjoyable. So just to wrap it up, Season 7 I thought was okay. It was interesting seeing a Ninjago season that was written by someone else other than the Hagmans, and while I was a little weary of that going in, I feel like Season 7 is fine for what it is. Next up, in the number 5 spot, we actually have Season 5. Now, this season I know a lot of you guys like, as I proved by one of my polls that I ran earlier in my channel's existence. I found that Season 5 is the most popular season amongst the fans, but it sits here in the number 5 spot for me, for a few reasons actually. First of all, Season 5 is nowhere near anything bad. Season 5 is awesome, I love it, but I like other seasons more. This season introduced Moro, the angry ghost former ninja, former Master Wu trainee, something like that. But yeah, Moro was pretty cool, and a lot of you guys really do like him, and I myself think he's really cool. He was for sure a good villain in the season, and I loved his motivation, and I loved his change towards the end of the season to actually go ahead and join up with Master Wu. Unfortunately, that didn't really go well for Moro, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but I still thought it was good on his development. Of course, the ninja this time around are basically left without their powers, as Lloyd is being taken over by Moro and possessed, so the other ninja are basically forced to go ahead and fight using what they've learned from previous seasons without their fancy powers. Season 5 also introduced the concept of Nia becoming a full-on ninja, and we saw her use her water powers throughout the season, and we basically saw her develop more as a character because of that. Speaking of development, we also saw Cole go through a little bit of development as well, as this season turned him into a ghost, and he would remain that way for quite some time. Which, development for Cole is always needed. But yeah guys, Season 5 was really cool, I really did enjoy it, and for everything that I said, it takes the number 5 spot on my list. Moving into the number 4 spot, here we have Sons of Garmadon Season 8. This is one that you guys were curious about where it placed amongst the others, and now you know. I already did a full-on review for Season 8 on the channel, so I won't really go into too much detail here, but let's just say that this season redefined Ninjago, or at least it did in my eyes. Ninjago desperately needed something different, and it needed a little bit of a refreshing feel to it. Season 8 for sure followed up on that front, as it followed the style and character designs of the LEGO Ninjago movie, but incorporating it more into the TV show setting that was already set up due to prior seasons. And while a lot of people were a little weary about this going into the season, I feel like going out, the community has pretty much decided that Season 8 is one of the better seasons of Ninjago. And I for one have to agree. Season 8 was very much the first part in a two-part story, and Season 9 comes out later this year, hopefully, so we'll see that story conclude. But for now, I do need to say Season 8 was by far one of the better Ninjago seasons and is definitely one of my favorites. Moving in the number 3 spot, we have Season 6. So Season 6 actually brought the character of Jay up from the shadows or from the background of the ninja team and actually gave him his own season. Which, was a little interesting because I really didn't know how Jay would go ahead and handle running a season on his own, basically. But he did do a really good job. This season for sure improved Jay's character quite a bit, and I do have to say Jay's character really did need that, so I'm glad that this season was able to deliver. Something else that it delivered on was the relationship between Jay and Nia, and how exactly that grows. These two were in a very bad place after Season 3, and it really never got to where it was before the events of Season 3. But Season 6 brought them closer together, as they basically were forced to go ahead and fight together, and as they were fighting together, they grew as people and came to understand each other, and I really do enjoy that take on their relationship. Nadakon the Evil Jin was the main villain, and he was by far one of the best Ninjago villains that we've ever seen. I'd say he was even better than Moro. Don't know if he's as good as the Overlord, but he's definitely one of the better ones. He was intimidating, ruthless, and had one of the better motivations, basically revenge for the falling of his kingdom, which of course is the realm of Ninjago. So just to wrap it up, Jay and Nia work well together, and Jay definitely shines in this season, which I guess is a good thing because he really didn't have a chance to shine outside of this one. Coming in the number 2 spot, we have Season 3. After Ninjago's initial cancellation, a lot of people were obviously pretty upset. But when Season 3 was announced, a lot of people were curious as to what it would be, and who it would follow. It ended up following Zane as the main focus, and let's just say that I never knew that Zane could run a season until this one. Zane in the spotlight is something that I want to see more of, because this season proved to me that he has the power to go ahead and basically run the entirety of Ninjago, which I really didn't think was possible, especially since following Zane from the first few seasons. But Season 3 redefined his character. He did a lot in this season, and a lot of the credit actually goes to him. Of course, the Overlord returned as the main villain, along with his fleet of Ninjroids, and I really do love the Ninjroids. I think they're one of the coolest villain armies out there. And of course, concluding the Overlord story, or at least giving it more of a push, didn't really hurt either. Season 3 may have been one of the shorter Ninjago seasons of the bunch, but that does not mean it's short on action, story, characters, and quality. Season 3 will always be one of the seasons that every Ninjago fan remembers, because it was just that memorable and just that enjoyable. Of course, I have to give the number 1 spot to Season 4 of Ninjago, the Tournament of Elements. A lot of you guys have seen my previous videos, and you guys know that this one is my favorite by far. In my opinion, there's just so much to like about it, and I really can't put it any lower than number 1. Where do I even begin with Season 4? The villains were awesome. Chen and Klaus I thought were amazing villains, and they worked together in an excellent way. Their characters bounce off of each other, and I really do wish that we can see Master Chen back for an actual season. Unfortunately, that might not happen, as those of you that have seen Season 4 know what's up, but we did get Klaus back, so that's good. This season introduced a lot of new things to Ninjago's timeline, and did a phenomenal job of basically expanding the world of Ninjago as we knew it. We got plenty of new elemental powers and elemental characters, including such favorites such as Skylar, or even Karloff and Nero. I guess the main focus of Season 4 was basically Kai, and while I didn't really get that going into the season, Kai for sure stood out to me. Also standing out to me was Garmadon. Season 3 reintroduced Garmadon as his sensei variant, but Season 4 built on that aspect of Garmadon's character, and made it something that I will never forget. The conclusion of Season 4 is one of my favorites in the entire series, and it did wonders for Garmadon's character. This season also reintroduced Zane as the new Titanium Ninja, and that would basically change Zane's character throughout the rest of the series as well. In the end, Season 4 is a landmark for Ninjago. It's one of the best things in the entire franchise, at least in my opinion. And if more seasons can be just like Season 4, I think the future of Ninjago looks insanely bright. So there you have it, guys, my updated ranking the seasons video. Of course, updated since Season 8 is... A lot of you guys were curious as to where Season 8 fits on my ranking list, and now you know. But feel free to go ahead and let me know where Season 8 ranks among your list. And hey, while you're at it, feel free to leave your entire list down in the comment section as well. I would love to read what you guys pick for your favorite season or least favorite season, or of course just number them like I did. But with that being said, that'll just about wrap it up for this video here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to give this video a thumbs up rating. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. It really does mean a lot to me. Once again, the comment section is yours for any discussions you want to have regarding this topic, or if you just had a general comment, that's fine too. Thank you guys so very much for watching once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.